We are live. Are you ready
Hello.
to go?
I'm
Hi,
ready.
this is Wally with Supreme Gecko
And Nanette.
and Nanette. One of these days, after 57 different live shows, I'm going to get this down where I get the little
The right
banter
way.
the right way. Who's here, Nanette? Can you tell us who has joined us?
Emily is here. Hello, Emily. Julie's here. And that's it.
That's
so
it
far.
for now. And I'm sure people will join in.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is very, so the whole plan was I'm eating lunch. Maybe you're eating lunch. Maybe you want to join me and we can talk geckos and isopods. And if you had a question, bring it up. Otherwise, we're just kind of sitting here and you're watching me eat lunch. What are these?
Sun chips.
Hi, Angie.
Your
Sun
favorite.
chips.
Hi, Ange.
So until you ask me a question or Nanette a question, you're just going to have to enjoy me crunching on sun chips. Angie, how's it going? Philippe, I hope I'm saying that right. Philippe K. I'm going to say Philippe. What's in our
I think
plans
it's
today?
Philippe.
What are we eating?
Well, you're eating a meatloaf sandwich.
I love
With sun
meatloaf
chips.
sandwich. I
Yes, you
love meatloaf
There
sandwiches.
wasn't enough for two.
Except
so
they
you got-
break up and I drop all the meatloaf out of
And
my sandwich.
I'm eating a nice, healthy salad.
You know what I need?
What? Napkin.
I need a napkin.
Mhm.
What's everybody else eating? Candace, how are you doing?
What goodies do they eat for lunch?
What are you guys eating for lunch? Meatloaf. You don't like meatloaf?
Oh, meatloaf, cold meatloaf sandwiches, Angie, are the best.
So the problem is, Angie, that maybe you have to maybe come over and find out how Nanette makes meatloaf sandwiches because they're fantastic.
They're not hard.
And you said, so help me with this. Angie just said, I'm going to show this. Angie just said, I had a hamburger.
It's different.
It's not different. Hamburgers are the same as meatloaf.
You
It's
don't
the
season
same
it the
thing.
same way. Although, for years, up until last month, I had Crystal convinced she was eating meatloaf when we were having hamburgers for dinner. Because I made a hamburger for her and cut it up and told her it was meatloaf. She caught
And
me
she
last
was all
month.
on
She
that?
caught me last month.
Where's my popsicles?
Steak and rice. I want to be over there.
Julie's having popsicles. I just want a popsicle for my dessert.
A popsicle?
Yep.
I want ice cream today. What's Culver's flavor?
Emily, it's only 10:30 for Emily.
Oh.
Meatloaf is just one thing that I can't stand. And I get that. There's some foods that I just can't stand, like broccoli. Angie says there's a big difference between.
There is.
No.
It's the way you make it. It is. Meatloaf, you put things in it, like breadcrumbs and stuff.
Hi, Mantis. Mantis,
Hamburgers
it's
you
like
don't.
2 a.m. over there, isn't it? No, it's early evening, actually, for Mantis. Mantis is in the UK.
Emily, I feel
Sup,
you.
UK.
10:30 in the morning was my lunch all last school year, so I had no choice. That was when I got lunch, and it stunk. Because I was starving then by 2 o'clock.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
I'm going to turn off these notifications. I'm sure everybody hears that. Julie's AC broke. Emily, baby Athena is eating with you, having graham crackers and yogurt melts. Love it. I might bring some baby food. One lunch and eat some baby food.
Why?
Mantis, 6:30, perfect timing. So you're eating dinner.
Or breakfast.
Mantis, Simon, what are you eating for dinner? Because I'm having meatloaf. So every time I take a bite, Angie goes, "Gah." What? Everybody see that? That's my first. This is our third lunch. That's my first. Oops. I tell you,
And the
meatloaf
dog's
just
not
falls
here.
out of the sandwich.
And the dog's not here to get it for you.
Angie's cringing. What are we talking about today, Nanette?
That's mine.
I know. I don't have anything to drink.
Oh, that's your fault.
Uh,
I don't know. What are we talking about?
Emily says baby food is good,
It is.
except broccoli baby food.
So what's the
Oh,
weather?
look at
What's
this.
the weather everywhere else?
Salt and pepper chicken with egg fried rice.
That sounds really good.
I guess I could drink my honey. No, we're not doing
Somebody's eating a protein bar and fruit. That's good.
that. Oops. When does school start for
School
you, Nanette?
starts for me. Well, my job school starts for me on the 5th of September. My college class starts next Monday. Again, 3 classes that I'll be taking.
Oh my gosh. You're just like 1 a.m., 1 a.m., 1 a.m., 1 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 days off, 1 a.m. Look at this, Emily. 104 yesterday with a high of 106.
That's just not right.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Mm-mm.
If you didn't see my video from Monday, I got a very, very special gift from Joe, the Bee Whisperer. 101 today for Julie.
Wow.
Very special. School starts here on September 5th. Wow.
That's when we start.
Is it?
I just said that, yeah.
And we had a special gift of honey. So I opened the box. I was thinking it was rocks. It was honey. I made a special, you know what? I made a special promise in that video. And I'm not going to say it because people here, if they
You
saw
made a
it,
promise.
yeah, they'll make me do it. I'm not doing it. 69. 69 boiling. Oh, it's 69 outside. I'm taking all my clothes off. No, I'm not taking
Please
all my
don't.
clothes. Please don't do that. Yum honey. Honey is good.
School starts
I don't know if I would drink it.
on this Monday, Mantis. Actually, one of our granddaughters, I have to send her a text today. She started school today. She's in a private high school. And they started today.
I can't. That just seems way too quick.
Well, in essence, if you think about it, sports for all the schools start at the beginning of August. So, and band, our band has already been out on the fields practicing for the high school, and all the soccer teams and football teams, they're all practicing.
Makes sense. NFL here, the first exhibition game is over. I can't wait for the season. I'm hoping that now this is weird. I'm wearing a Milwaukee shirt. I just noticed this Milwaukee shirt, Chicago Blackhawks hat. I can do that. That's legal, right?
Of course,
Somebody going to kick me out of the live stream? I don't know. I have been hiding in my cave here in Alabama. It's not only hot, it's humid. So I'm breathing hot soup with lunch. September 6th is my birthday. Very cool. My school shouldn't start till shouldn't start until all schools. See, I need my glasses until after Labor Day. I kind of go with that. That makes sense. I have a couple friends in Illinois and Texas whose kids start today.
Mm-hmm.
My poor kiddos have been doing marching band practice for the last 2 weeks, 8 hours a day. Oh my gosh. Hi, Fish Family. What are you having for lunch?
I almost think that school all year round isn't bad if we had a couple of weeks like breaks off during the year, because they do that in some of the districts where they do all year round, but they take 2 weeks off in the fall, 2 weeks in the winter, and 2 in the spring, 2 in the summer, and the kids get a break. Keeps the kids back on track better.
You're like a tyrant. School all year round. That's like work, isn't it?
With vacation breaks.
Kids need playtime. They need like summer. They need to be kids. Our kids need to be kids. Who are you? Mantis Garden, no idea what any of my teams are. So you don't know who the teams are, or you don't know what they're doing, or?
See, Mantis says they do that.
I kind of thought so. I wonder how that differs as far
How
as.
does it work? I think they retain things better that way. They don't get behind, because if kids don't do anything during the summer, or they don't read or do anything, they're losing time. Plus, parents with all the camps that they have to put them in all summer just to keep them busy. I don't know.
They kind of make sense. I almost grabbed the honey again.
Well, don't do that.
I'm gonna try not to.
Quit grabbing mine.
Nobody's challenged me yet.
Quit grabbing mine.
Why?
That was just graceful.
Emily says, oh, I started a new project, a crochet blanket by hand, no needles for Athena, with huge fluffy yarn. Who's Athena, Emily? Who's Athena?
That is supposed to be so much fun to do.
I know
How
who
does
it
that
is.
hand knitting go?
Oh, no. Okay. We have,
Drink
how
the
many people
honey.
do we have? We have 16 people here. I'm telling you what, folks. If I get 16 people saying drink the honey, I'll take us. I'm not going to drink all the honey. I'm not. No coffee, Wally? So I'll drink coffee, Angie. I'll drink coffee all morning long, and I'm at the computer or I'm downstairs. I'll take coffee downstairs and I'll drink coffee. But at lunch, I usually grab milk. I don't know why I didn't grab milk today, but didn't. So I'm stealing the next drink. But I tell you what, if we have 16 drink honeys, I'm going to take a drink of honey. Why am I doing this?
I have no idea.
Why am I doing this?
I can tell you, I'm not helping you out.
We have one. I think we have 1, 2 so far. My wife is from Portugal, and she used to have 4 months off school for summer because it was hot. That makes all the sense in the world. So being in Wisconsin, in the land of frozen tundra, we have 4. We should have winter off. We should have 4 months of winter, right? Because our summers are so mild here. I would say let's have 4 months of winter off in Wisconsin.
4 months off.
I think we have 5 drink the honeys. So hopefully that's all that I said 6. Okay. There you go. Athena is my daughter who's 9 months old now, and crocheting by hand isn't too bad. So she's crocheting at 9 months. That's I wouldn't say that's not bad. I would say that that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Way to go, Emily, for teaching your 9-month-old how to crochet. That's just wow. I don't think I learned to crochet until I was 14 or 15.
No.
Okay. Emily's saying don't drink the honey.
That's gross.
So now we need, I'm going to say 4 more people say drink the honey and I'll drink it despite what Emily is saying. I don't want to. I don't know why I'm saying that.
I don't either.
Anybody have isopod or gecko questions? We have
For lunch.
chug. Julie's like, oh man, forget that. Chug it down. Drink the whole thing. Yeah. Cannonball. That's a Caddyshack.
Yeah, I remember.
What was I saying? I was saying something.
Isopods.
Isopods are questions. We have tons going on right now. So tell us if there is any open area in our whole house right now. Nanette.
Open area?
What's going on in our house right now? Don't
It's a
spill too
disaster.
much, but
We're getting ready for a show this weekend. And I'm doing a reconstruction on how we box things and pack things in the car because it's getting a little tight. And I'm relabeling things and I'm just reconfiguring my table setup. So I'm doing lots of work, odds and ends of stuff. But I got to get it done by tonight because it's driving me insane because the house is a disaster.
JP, excuse me, JP, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that comment. Tobias, Michigan, I am so glad to finally catch a stream. Thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate that. So we're talking isopods. We're talking
a lunch one.
Poor guy watching me eat. We're talking isopods. We're talking geckos. Druth says, anyone have armadillo officinalis?
Can you talk?
No, I can't. I've got a mouthful of meatloaf, so I
Do
can't.
we have those?
We used to.
Yeah.
So about 6 months ago, we trimmed down quite a bit our collection because our geckos were going nuts. I tell you what, folks, we have a facility full of geckos right now, and every day it's going down and finding 2 or 3 or 4, 10 new animals, and then trying to find room for all of these animals. I just had to scale back on some areas. One of them was isopods that, number one, aren't sellers. I shouldn't say not sellers, but that aren't selling, keeping the business going. What keeps our business going right now is springtails and dwarf whites, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're shipping out so
Lots
many.
of those.
But we're also shipping out a lot of other isopods, but any isopods that we really weren't selling enough of, or that weren't one of my favorites, like, the giant Spanish. They had to find a new home. And we brought about 4 or 5 shows ago, we brought a whole bunch of isopods to the show and sold them there. So no aficionados now. What's your favorite cuberis? Probably papaya, I would say right now. I'm not a big cuberis keeper. Pandas for you.
Panda kings are pretty.
I got some orange crush, but rarely see them. Yep. You saw that already. So I think we added 2 more. Take a swig of the honey. If you're new to the channel, if you want me to take a drink of the honey, let me know in the chat. I think we'll go with 2 more comments. Drink a little bit of honey, and
I thought you said everybody had to.
Yeah, I'm changing that.
Where is Frank the Tank today?
I don't know.
He would have been
probably
all
busy.
over that.
You guys need an SUV. I agree with that. We
Yes.
absolutely need one. Honda Pilot. We'll think about that.
We need to do something pretty soon.
Julie, what's 322 pounds? Me? I'm a biscuit short of 322 pounds. But I tell you what, if I had a biscuit here and I've got the honey, I'd make the 322
Oh, I could have
in
done
5
that.
minutes.
I could have
You
made
done
biscuits
that.
for you today.
The mantis. The Simon. It's coming. Maybe not this week, but next week. I promise. So here's my promise to the channel. I doubt that I'll be able to do an isopod video this week because we have so much planned already, and it's already Wednesday. But by the end of next week, I will make an isopod video, kind of an update on where we're at with our isopods. That's a promise. And if I break it, Simon, you can. I don't know what you can do. You can call me out on your channel and say Wally's a fake. Wally is a goof up. No, everybody knows that. So say something. How's our family doing? How's our family doing?
Pretty good. Let's see. Crystal's downstairs with her other cousin, Aubrey, and they're playing right now. And probably eating candy because I'm not down there with them. Christopher's little girl is going to be a year old next week already, which is just crazy. Nuts. We're just busy getting ready to go back to school. A couple little baseball games here and there before then to go to. Jordan's dad's taking her to a Brewer game on Harry Potter night, so she's all excited. Or she's going to get a scarf, she hopes. So I hope they get there early enough.
Well, she uses her wand and she goes, Magnifico, Scarfo. She can just
make one.
Yeah, she can make one.
We're going to go to the Docktown games a week from Sunday. And that's a week from Sunday already.
That's I think they're minor league.
Mm-hmm.
Professional baseball team, not major league.
That's a week from Sunday.
Wow.
That means school's starting in like 2 weeks. Almost.
Wow. Crazy. JP asks, what's your favorite Armadillidium and Porcelio? You want to go first or do you want me to?
Punta Cana are my favorite. Are those Armadillidiums?
Those are Armadillidiums.
Porcelio.
Yes, that was my stomach. I'm sure everybody on the live.
That was like a rumble.
Yeah. It's raining outside. That was thunder.
Porcelio, I don't know because I'm not thinking. I like Punta Canas.
You're going to copy my answer. So Punta Canas, I think, are one of my favorites. I just like the little, different flavored jelly beans. Porcelio, excuse me, Armadillidium, Punta Canas probably. Maybe the clowns, Clue Guy. Porcelio, it's got to be Hoffs. Porcelio, Hoffman, Segai, because they are the king of the isopods.
They're okay. Okay.
Tobias says, I've been dying to ask your opinions on whether or not crested geckos can become bonded. Bonded. This is a great question.
That's interesting.
I think they can. Bonding is a very... Angie, I'm reading Angie. Sorry. And it's distracting me. Squirrel.
Anything
Bonded is a
starts.
very general word. So here's my thoughts. I feel that crested geckos can become familiar and used to other living things like us. They can relate to us. They're human keepers as far as food goes.
What about to each other?
To each other, I'm getting there. I'm just slow today. I think that they don't bond with each other because I can think you can take a male out. If you have a male with a female, you can take the male or the female out, put the female to another female or even another male, or the male to another female, never a male to a male. And I think that they do just fine. I don't think that there's oh my gosh, I miss Susie, so I'm not going to breed with Samantha. I don't think that's it. I think they do just fine.
I wouldn't tell Crystal that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I've got to do. Yeah, where is Frank?
I don't know where Frank is today.
Got
I'm
a ton of
disappointed.
questions coming in here, so I'm just going to do this.
I show up and Frank doesn't come.
I'm going to do this, folks.
Yeah.
So this is
I don't get mine.
This is from Joe Stoker. This is Summer Savage 23. He's got some other numbers. I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to spill this all. Oh, it's so sticky.
Right.
Oh, honey. Oh my gosh, smell that. I'm going to get to this question right here.
I want some.
Or comment.
But I'm not drinking that.
Oh, magic potions. Good.
That's a good one.
Somebody lost in the move. I heard about that. Sorry. I have now downscaled to my favorite magic potions who are doing great. Fantastic. Magic potions are super cool. Tobias says, I got a sub-adult that was super shy until I added a confirmed juvenile female. Since then, she's perked up, become more active, and much more social. I completely agree with that. I think that, well, take it like this. Let's say you have an empty enclosure and you have one hide. Your animal, it doesn't matter if it's a crested gecko or what kind of reptile it is, it's going to hide all the time. Let's say you have one hide, it's going to be in that hide all the time. Let's say now, and because you want to see it, so you don't want to put many hides in there. So you put one hide and you never see it. Makes sense, right? It's not going to feel comfortable. It's going to hide all the time. It's going to hide in the hide. So now take that same enclosure, put one animal, and you throw a lot of other hides in there. You throw a lot of other places for it to go to feel comfortable. You're going to see it more. And that's kind of just the opposite of how some people think. The more hides, the more places for an animal to get situated, it's going to feel more comfortable and it's going to come out. Now throw another animal that when you feed, that other animal comes out and starts eating first. Your second animal is going to say, I better come out a little quicker and not sit back here and feed because I'm kind of hungry and I want to get more food. So I think it is more social, but it's also kind of instinctual where that second animal just is going to behave differently because it's in with other animals. I don't think there's anything better than seeing animal to animal behavior in our enclosures. And I think that if you're keeping one animal, I think and I know a lot of people do this, I just think you're missing out on a lot of behavior. We keep, you're stealing my food.
I'm going to take some of your chips because I ran out of croutons.
Salad with sun chip cheddar.
It's just like a crouton.
So we have day geckos together and we have a male and two females. That's almost a no sin to keep two females because the females will battle each other. But it works out because we have them in a fairly decent size enclosure. Yeah, I'm a huge honey and biscuit fan. Huge. Hi, John. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us.
I never thought about that. I could have made you.
Frank didn't get the notifications. We're going to try we're probably going to shift it over to every other Wednesday. But thanks for joining us, Frank. 12:30 every other Thursday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Frank's never late.
Thursday.
Ever. Wednesday. Did I say Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Did I really? Wednesday. I don't might do that anyway. So I'm not sure what that means. Where does the pollen go? Angie, where does the pollen go? I'm not sure what that is.
She's answering.
Okay.
Oh, Frank. Something's going on.
Waffles and syrups. I don't have any waffles. I should have
No.
waffles.
Yeah, meatloaf sandwich today, Frank.
Tobias. Birthday coming up. Very cool.
Well, for Frank being late, he's sure on top of everything now.
Honey chug. So Frank comes in. And goes right away. Honey chug.
These
So
chips
what
are good.
was that with the wand again? So she's a big Porcelio Magnifica. So our granddaughter's a big Harry Potter fan. I know nothing about Harry Potter at all. She's going to a ball game and she wants a scarf. And I said, Scarfo Magnifico. So, all right. I think I'm catching. No, I'm not catching up yet.
No, you got a lot here. Bottoms up.
Frank, what are you having for lunch? Zebras are also my favorite armadillidium. You can't beat zebras. Oniscus ocellus are so underrated. And I know
Yes,
that
they
you're
are.
working on the Mardi Gras, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm so late here. Mantis Wind Cooler here. Okay,
is
we're
Frank
gonna do
eating?
this. So I opened
What's
the
Frank
honey.
eating?
I don't know. I
Well,
can't catch up.
You blocked this.
I know. Hold on. Okay.
I don't know what he said.
Frank says, I have a trio of females that always rust together for years and never separated. However, I'm not sure if this is just a coincidence or a sign of dominance in some ways. I think it's they're communal. I think they're becoming more communal, and I think that they're becoming more used to each other. Is that your phone?
Might be.
Probably Christopher.
Emily, if you want to feed the gecko, I'm thinking.
Can you house crested geckos and a morning gecko together? Then that says if you want to feed the crested. Oh my gosh.
I don't think it would
Violence.
survive. I don't think it would survive.
I don't think so either. I think
Especially
it'd be.
the little ones that I just
I think
saw
you can
hatch out.
get back to work.
Hey, Christopher, you get back to work.
I think you can house the morning geckos with the crested geckos like for an hour. I can't catch up here. I got my larger crested, admittedly from a pet store. Why not? That's cool. And they were housed with others. I'm wondering if it just missed the social aspect once we brought home. It's a couple of things there, Tobias. It's a factor of the crested gecko moving to a new enclosure, getting used to it, not sure what's going on, when's my feeding schedule. So they're used to that, very routine schedule, and moving it, I don't think is a bad thing. It's just a change for them. So we always tell people that purchase animals from us, give it a couple of days. It's probably not going to eat. And then they'll come back and say, oh, it ate. And I'll say, oh, that's so cool. It feels comfortable with you and your enclosure. But give it a couple of days. And even if a crested gecko, a leopard gecko doesn't eat in the first, 5-6 days, it's not a terrible thing. They're just getting used to their new enclosures. Thank you very much, Fish Fam. Magic potions are the best armadillidium, in my opinion. I can't argue with you there. Like Spike, thank you very much. 60 species of isopods in stock here. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of researching, number one, to make sure that they're all okay. Very cool. All right. I have delayed this long enough. Oh my gosh. Can I do this?
I just took
Can I
my
do this,
drink
folks?
away. You're not getting my drink after you start swigging that.
Hey, please have seriously have your drink handy.
No. You better have a garbage can.
Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of this, folks. A little bit. I'm not drinking a lot, just a little bit.
Gross. Gross.
Can you hear me? Go.
Gross. I'm done. I'm not paying attention to you anymore.
Okay, you start talking. This is not bad. Should I drink more?
No.
That's a lot. I can feel my throat kind of burning a little bit.
Okay, somebody says that they want another gecko. Love one that we have, not breeding ever. Will it be comfortable to add another to the tank?
Julie, it depends on the gecko, but I know you have a leopard gecko. I can't remember. Do you have a male or female? I think a female. Oh, we don't know. That's right. We don't
mess
know.
up the tank.
I would say no for sure. I think it's 8 weeks old, 4 months old, maybe. I can't remember. So many questions come my way. I would say make sure that you know for sure if it's a male or female. Don't put a male with another male. Once you know if it's a male or female, then you can certainly put another one in there. Make sure the enclosure is big enough. A lot of concerns about cohabitation, but I'm I'm a person that says if there's enough room in their enclosure, you should be okay. But just kind of watch them. If they don't play nice together, then go ahead and separate them. Always, 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 if you are considering two animals and you're putting them together, always have another enclosure ready just in case. We're doing it.
Here's one for you. Put that down. My in-laws want an arboreal tropical enclosure, and I can't decide between day geckos or a crusty. I'd go crusty because it's more.
Day geckos or crested geckos?
Yeah.
Crested geckos, it all comes down to handleability. If you want to handle an animal, it's certainly crested geckos because morning geckos, you handle it and it's on the wall. Oh, day gecko. I'm sorry, the day gecko.
Yeah. You don't want to do that to your in-laws because then they have to run around the house trying to get a gecko.
If you go, day geckos have a big fish net or butterfly net handy.
How can you have an empty tank? 503.
That's a sin.
That wouldn't happen.
That's an amendment that you're breaking a law by having an empty enclosure. That honey. Oh my gosh. Well, if I had a cough before, I certainly won't have a cough now. Is anybody grossed out that I'm drinking honey?
You're not drinking any more of that garbage.
You're not drinking any more of that garbage. You're not drinking any more.
It's not garbage. I just don't want you drinking it.
Joe, are you here? She just called your honey garbage.
It is not garbage. Crusteds would have the morning gecko for a snack. You are right.
Chomp chomp.
Morning geckos are cool. We had some hatch this week. Crystal had one in a container.
A morning gecko.
Walking around the house with to show me every time she sees it.
Yeah, we found a little morning gecko in one of our tanks that we never even checked because I have other tanks that we're getting morning geckos out of. And, sitting on the branch right next to the opening. So I opened it up and kind of moved the gecko into my hand, put it into another little tiny, not tiny, but a bigger deli cup, big fat deli cup, and it was fine.
Okay, here.
Tobias has a question.
Question you need to address.
Yeah. I've had a small leopard gecko for over 6 months now. They just barely eat. I have tried a variety of diets and heats and space and hides. Is brumation a possible reason for a lack of appetite? I'll get this question once a week. Tobias, so you're not alone in this at all. So number one, I always ask people, show me a picture so I can see the enclosure. What are you feeding? What temperatures? Any tank mates? Things like that. If you don't have any other tank mates, here's maybe the problem. Always have a hot spot in the enclosure, about 25% of the enclosure ish, that's sitting in the 85 degree mark, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87 ish. If you have a hot area in your enclosure, they can self-regulate themselves and adjust and get their metabolism going, and then they'll eat. If you have an area, and the rest of the enclosure can be ambient temperature, it's not that big of a deal. As long as you have a hot spot that they can get to and speed up their metabolism and then get away from, they should be eating. Then it becomes what kind of foods are you feeding, what size foods, things like that. So Tobias, message me on Facebook. It's your best way to catch me. You can also email me, and we'll kind of go over some of the basics. If that didn't answer your question, I want to help you out, and let's make sure that we can solve that.
Don't drink anymore, please.
Well, I've kind of been irregular lately, so maybe I should drink some more honey.
You're a fool. Thanks, Frank. 503, if they want to see it and you want them to see it all the time, then I guess a day gecko makes more sense. It's just that gets out of the tank. It's going to be hard for them to get it, I would think. Crusties would hide.
That was too much.
Angie's sinning because she's got empty tanks. Shame on you.
There you go. Shame on you, Angie. Gecko Cave has a question.
I'm trying to find that. Oh, down here. Sorry, I'm just getting. Do you keep your gargoyles in groups or do you pair them 1-to-1? If 1-to-1, how long do you keep the males with the females?
We generally keep our gargoyles together. We do not separate them.
I was testing you.
We keep our gargoyles. And this is the benefit of coming in for a lunch with Wally session. You actually get to hear me talking while I'm eating
I'm choking.
and choking. We keep our gargoyles. Seriously, and I can't drink any honey. Can I get something from you? She's being nice.
Rat.
Great question about the localities for mourning geckos.
Okay.
We keep our gargoyles together year round. They're in our facility. So in the fall, it cools off. So our gargoyles don't breed whatsoever in the fall, or, in the fall, spring. They cool down. People are going to go, no more lunch with Wally because he chokes to death.
Well,
So
if you didn't drink honey, you wouldn't be choking.
Might be it.
Fool.
So we keep them together the year round. We've never, ever had any issues whatsoever. Big enclosures, though. These are probably about the equivalent of about a 35-gallon enclosure. So fairly big. I wouldn't say huge, but I'm saying they're at least big enough to house a pair of gargoyles. And we have a lot of hides in there, so lots of places to separate themselves from each other. And that's just what we do. If I were to keep them separate, I would introduce a male 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 3 cycles. And that should get you some eggs. Okay, what else do we have here? Nanette, where are you? Where's our questions?
Sorry, I got a message. We have homework already for next week.
Emily, great question. That was Emily's question about the gargoyles,
well,
right? Or did I miss that? I probably missed it.
The gargoyle was cave gecko. Or gecko cave, sorry.
Cool.
Emily is responding to something else she saw on Facebook. Localities of mourning geckos. He's asking the group.
I have mine written on my enclosures. I can't remember. I have normals, the white stomach, the Hawaiians, yellow bellies. Yep, Hawaiians, regular. Emily, exactly the same. You stole my idea.
I didn't realize.
What did Kara say?
Mantis was in England.
Can you hide the laxative thing with honey? Yeah, Mantis Garden is in England.
I didn't realize that. Okay. Am I the only one who loses my tongues 50 times a week? Oh, no, Wally loses tons of stuff downstairs.
I lose tons of stuff, and I put the stuff in the place like it's where is it now? I can't find it. I'm looking, and I'm looking under racks and everything. And then I finally find the stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, I literally have a tray on this organizer labeled tongs or whatever it is. Now, funny, Kara, I have never used tongs ever. Now, you're probably keeping reptiles that are a lot bigger than my little micro geckos. I can't imagine the size of a tong that I would use for the micro geckos, but I've never used tongs ever.
503 says he keeps buying more.
Yeah, I'm out. Need to buy some.
Frank, enough.
Snails Ford. Thanks for joining us.
They have mantises that actually bend the tongs when feeding them.
Really? So your mantis is like this big? It's crazy. Or your tongue is like this big. One of the two.
If somebody's going to email you on their day off.
Remind me that we talked in the Lunch with Wally segment.
I agree, Julie. Too much information.
What's that?
You and your irregularity stuff.
I need more honey. Get me regular.
Enough.
John says I keep empty tanks because I have babies all the time. Yes. Yes. Way to go, John.
What other comments are here?
Marine Corp reptiles. I'm hungry now.
Mm-hmm. I have I've got red-eyed tree frogs. That sounds cool.
What would you suggest to help out my springtails along? Well, Supreme Springtail chow for sure. Wet. Wet. Keep sphagnum moss. Keep a piece of pork bark over it.
They like
keep it damp
and
feed them. What's that? Squash.
I found that they like the zucchini much better than carrots or anything else.
Absolutely. And blatant mentioned here Supreme Springtail Chow.
Yes.
Yes.
I used to like Wally when he did isopods.
Was that mantis?
Mm-hmm.
That one hurt. I think you stung me with the right cross on that one. Am I bleeding? Oh my gosh! You just really that came from nowhere. That was a cheap shot.
There are a lot of things in here. Holy cow!
What?
Just lots of comments. I'm just
go ahead, read some.
Well, I'm reading to see.
Nanette, my husband is the same.
Yeah,
Stop getting tongues from Wish. Outstanding. You did a video about Wisconsin custom cages. How are they holding up, and would you recommend investing in them? Gecko Cave, I couldn't suggest them anymore. Number one, they're good enclosures. Number two, for me in Wisconsin, I don't have to pay shipping. Number three, Cody is a great person to work with. Whatever you need, he'll bend over backwards to get that done for you. I've talked to Cody, I can't tell you 5 or 6 times after purchasing that set of Australian, the rack that I have. And every time it's like, Cody, I want to do this and this. He goes, okay, well, and he draws it and shows me. And then 2 minutes later, my mind is changing and I want to do something else. And he's always like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Let's look at this. So great person to work with. And I have to tell you, the prices on his enclosures. When I first saw Wisconsin custom cages, I thought, how can they be this inexpensive? And again, I just thank you very much, Frank. I want to mention buy me a coffee before we take off here, and it's almost lunchtime has ended. Everybody has to get back to work, but I love Wisconsin custom cages. I would ship them if I wasn't, 10 minutes down the road from them. I'm missing everything. Where's Steve? Going to have to give him grief later on Discord. You do that. I agree, Julie. My isopod breed like crazy with the Supreme Isopod Chow from Wally. I use a little 1/8 teaspoon measuring spoon, and it works great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I just stumped. Thank you, Julie, very much. I appreciate it. I want to mention Buy Me a Coffee just real quick. Another blatant plug here. We are working really, really hard to provide a lot of benefits to our Buy Me a Coffee members. And over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we have just seen such a spike in new members. I cannot thank you enough. Besides the behind the scenes videos and the discounts that we offer to the Supreme Gecko page, the advice, the consultations that I've done quite a number of consultations over the last year or so to our members free of charge. And 10 minutes becomes a half hour, becomes an hour. Besides the preferred supplier list, besides the Google Sheet templates that we put out there, we have a couple of surprises coming. And I've talked about this a little bit with a tool that I have changed over from using spreadsheets. I no longer use spreadsheets. I use spreadsheets a little bit, but we're now using a special tool. And every day I'm doing another video, a training video on this new tool. And hopefully certainly in the next 2 weeks, I'll publish the tool free of charge to the Buy Me a Coffee members before I release this publicly, with all the training, all the consultation to get this up and running for you that you want, again, free. And then we'll announce it publicly, and hopefully people will use this because it has saved me so much time, and it helps me every single day so that I don't have sticky notes and whiteboards filled with notes and spreadsheets and notepads and everything else. It's an organization. It's a note-taking. It's a reptile keeper database, all kinds of stuff. So buy me a coffee. If you're not a member, think about it. You don't have to. We greatly appreciate your support with support or memberships. Really, really appreciate that. And we have something really special coming with Buy Me a Coffee in certainly the next 2 weeks. I'm really excited about this new feature, and I'm not going to say a word because that's why everything downstairs is a mess. And we're eventually next week getting to a point where we can start announcing this and promoting it.
Now I can see my dining room table again?
Yeah, no, we can't see your dining room table, and we probably won't for a couple more weeks.
No, I hate to break the news to you. This all has to be done before I go back to work.
Or before we leave, anybody else have any questions?
Candace, yes, it does taste weird now, so I'm not drinking that anymore.
What's that?
My drink. She want to know if you contaminated my drink with your honey, and it doesn't
Should I
work.
pour some honey in there?
No. Julie said someone in the group stop.
Cheers.
Storage lockers and reaches out when they find them. Oh, somebody in my area buys storage lock. Got it. Okay. I thought you were asking me a question there. I fed veggies for over a year and they didn't breed near as much until I started using the chow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank, want to see Wally slow dance with a waffle? No, not really. I know.
Our Buy Me a Coffee members will. What's that?
Are you really doing it with Buy Me the Coffee?
What?
Dancing
Slow
with
dancing?
a waffle?
Maybe.
I would be in gecko trouble without Wally.
Thank you, Julie.
Mhm.
And my pleasure
I'm
entirely.
going to have to email you regarding that coffee thing because I have no idea how to do it. LOL. Also would be good to hear. Okay.
Message me.
Your
I'll go
child
through the
would work here.
benefits. I'll
Oh.
share as much as I possibly
share?
can. Real quick, go to the Buy Me a Coffee
Mhm.
link that Frank has been sharing here and just do a membership. We have 3 different levels of membership. The elite obviously gets all the benefits. The advanced gets a lot of benefits. Plus, those 2 get discount codes. And we have a supporting membership, a beginner membership as well, that just helps us a whole lot. So all of the monies, all of the support that we get in through Buy Me a Coffee, everything goes into the equipment that we're using here, goes into more training for me, more education, more research. None of it goes into the geckos. The gecko thing is completely separate. So all the monies that we're getting from, all the support that we're getting from Buy Me a Coffee is going right back into making more and better content for you guys. So
I wonder if they
and
make...
we have the big giveaway coming up
wow.
the end of this month in a couple of weeks. So gargoyle crested geckos, Peridor picked a pair. Those Peridor picked a pair, just wow, nice and dark.
Somebody said we should get Frank a giant plushy waffle. I wonder if Squishmallow makes a waffle. I'll have to ask Crystal. She can do some research for me. What else? 503, have fun at work.
You think we need to get back to work?
I need to get back to doing some stuff because you have a huge list for me to do. The honey-do list doesn't work right now.
In my new tool,
being...
I have just line
Yeah.
after line after line, just Nanette.
The honey-do list in our house is backwards.
I want to thank everybody for joining us. This was supposed to be about a half hour or so. And it's just so much fun talking to everybody. You have stickers to look at.
I have stickers.
So Nanette's going to be gone for the rest of the day looking at these stickers. Want to show a couple of stickers?
They're Highland Cool.
So if you don't know, Nanette has a very, 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 very strong Scottish heritage.
Look at my Highland
and
Coos.
Because of that, she loves the Highland cows. Or
They're
as
gorgeous.
our cousin calls them, the yaks.
He wanted-
Sue, if you're watching this, I'm sure you're
He
laughing
wanted
now.
to know why I had a yak
What do you
picture
have a
on my
yak
wall,
picture on
and
your
he's
wall?
got the same heritage as me. The Highland Coos are just huge. Look. Oh, look. I found a place that had
Yep.
stickers, and I got, I think, 50 stickers of Highland Coo.
This is why our half-hour lunch half-hour goes for 2.5 hours.
Because I bought a sticker.
Is that
Hey,
bad?
you know what else I thought I could find out? I think, if I'm right, I possibly
Thank you,
can
Mantis.
jump in once in a while and have lunch with you at work, because I might have, I know this, if I get assigned the right group, I might have the same lunch hour as your little lunch gathering, and I might be able to pop on the side and just say, hey, everybody, I'm here. If I'm
Nanette
not-
loves them.
oh, they're
Thank
so
you, Mantis.
cute.
Oh,
The Highland Coos are so cute.
we do have the Supreme Isopod chow and other stuff. No Supreme Gecko chow. There's great crested gecko diets already on the market, so
We can't beat that one. Right.
no Supreme Gecko chow.
Sorry.
No. Boy, I
And
can
we're
talk for
not-
another half hour
We
on that.
can't. There's no way.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This has been a blast. This will never go a half hour. You know that, right?
No, and is this like every other week now?
It's going to be every other week because I think that what we're going to do is try to splice in some other stuff in here too.
week.
Every other week. So watch out for our announcements. If you don't have, if you've not subscribed, we'd greatly appreciate you subscribing. Hit that notification all bell so you don't miss another video or lunch with Wally and maybe sometimes Nanette.
Our next one is not happening.
Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll figure it
I'll
out.
figure it out.
This is supposed to be real
Time.
super informal. So
That's okay. I'll jump in on another one.
you guys are the best. Love you all. Thank you so much
Thank
for making
you.
this work.
Yep.
It brings joy to my life and hopefully it brings a little pleasantness to your lunch afternoons as well. Thank you all for joining us.
Bye.